Have you ever stopped to think that maybe you're wasting your life without even realizing it? That you're chasing after things that, in the end, won't matter at all? I know that feeling of always being busy, always doing something, but deep down, feeling like something's missing. For 80 years, I lived believing I was on the right track, doing everything I was told was the right thing to do. And only now, when time is almost up, have I finally understood. And you know what haunts me most? It's knowing that you're probably making the same mistakes I made, and that when you realize it, it might be too late. I'm 80 years old now, and if there's one thing I've learned in all this time, it's that there's a brutal truth about life that nobody tells you when you're young. A truth that took me decades to accept, and that completely changed how I see everything. I grew up believing that the secret to life was to work hard, save money, build a solid career, and that happiness would come as a consequence of all that. My dad always said that a man is measured by what he achieves, by the legacy he leaves behind, by the respect he earns in the community, and I believed that with all my might. By 25, I already had a stable job at a factory. By 30, I owned my own house. By 35, I was a manager. By 40, I had a bank account that gave me security. I thought I was winning at life. I thought I was doing everything right. But I was completely mistaken. You know when the turning point happened? When everything changed. At 62, I had a heart attack. I was at work in an important meeting about quarterly goals when I felt a pain in my chest that knocked me down. I woke up 3 days later in the hospital, surrounded by tubes and machines, with my wife holding my hand and crying. The doctor said I was lucky, that many don't survive their first heart attack. Lucky. They called it luck. But as I lay there in that hospital bed, staring at the white ceiling, with that disinfectant smell filling my nostrils, I realized something that shattered me inside. I had spent 62 years chasing after things that, in the end, meant absolutely nothing. And you know what hurts the most? Realizing that I'm not alone in this. I'm sure you feel it sometimes, too. This sense of living on autopilot, doing things because you have to, but without really being present. Tell me here in the comments, do you also feel like you're living on autopilot? You can just write, I feel like I'm living on autopilot because, and complete it. You don't need many details, but you know why this matters? Because when we share these things, we realize we're not alone. And maybe that's the first step to truly waking up. So tell me, are you on autopilot too? Going back to that hospital bed, it was there that I finally understood what the lie was. The lie was simple but devastating. The idea that there's a later, that there's time, that you can leave important things for later because there will always be another opportunity. I spent my whole life postponing important conversations with my wife because I was tired from work, postponing playing with my kids because I had bills to pay, postponing trips because I needed to save money for retirement, postponing friendships because I didn't have time. And you know what happens when you postpone life? Life simply passes by. And when you finally have time, when you're finally ready, the people are no longer there. My oldest son, Ricky, used to call me every weekend when he was in his early 20s. He wanted to talk, wanted my advice, wanted to spend time with me. And I was always busy, always had something more important to do. A meeting on Saturday, a project to finish on Sunday, tired from the week. I'd tell him, we'll talk calmly later, son. We'll schedule a barbecue later. We'll go fishing later, like in the old days. Later, later, later. You know how many times that later arrived? None. Today, Ricky is 48, lives in another state, has his own family, and when we talk on the phone, I can feel the distance I built between us. A distance that no amount of money can bridge. My wife, Mary, always wanted to travel. She dreamed of seeing Europe, walking the streets of Paris, seeing the beaches of Greece, visiting the castles of Scotland. And I always said, when I retire, we'll go. When we have more money saved, when the boys are settled, when? You know when we finally took that trip? Never. She developed arthritis in her legs at 65 and now can barely walk 2 blocks without pain. Her dream died because I thought we had all the time in the world, because I prioritized the bank account over experiences, and now I have money saved, yes, but for what? To look at the statement and regret every cent I could have spent creating memories with the woman I love? You see, what nobody tells you when you're young is that time isn't infinite. It seems like it is. When you're 20, 30, 40, it seems like there will always be a tomorrow, always be a new chance. But the truth is, every day that passes is one less day. Every opportunity you let slip away could be the last. Every time you choose work over family, every time you postpone an important conversation, every time you say no to an adventure because you need to be responsible, you're stealing from yourself. You're stealing experiences. You're stealing connections. You're stealing life. My best friend, John, died at 57, pancreatic cancer. From diagnosis to death was 4 months. 4 months. You know what he told me the last time I saw him in the hospital? He said, I worked 40 years to ensure a comfortable future, and now I have no future at all. He had just paid off his house. He had plans to travel all over the country when he retired. He had a list of books he wanted to read, places he wanted to see, things he wanted to do. And he did none of it because he was always busy building a tomorrow that never arrived. And here's the part that haunts me most to this day. It wasn't just John. It's not just me. It's everyone. How many people do you know who are truly living? How many people do you know who wake up every day excited, who do what they love, who spend time with who matters, who create memories instead of accumulating things? Very few. Most people are just surviving, punching the clock, paying bills, waiting for the weekend, waiting for the holidays, waiting for retirement, waiting to die. Because that's what we're doing when we put our lives on hold. We're waiting to die. The hard truth I learned is this: no matter how much you work, how much you save, how much you achieve, if at the end you look back and realize you missed out on what truly matters. And what truly matters is embarrassingly simple. It's time with the people you love. It's doing what brings you joy. It's living experiences that create memories. It's being present for the important moments. That's it. It's not the new car. It's not the bigger house. It's not the promotion. It's not the fat bank account. These things are important, sure, but only up to a point. And society pushes you to go way beyond that point. It convinces you that you need more, always more. And in the process, you sacrifice everything that's truly worthwhile. Let me ask you a few questions. Questions I wish someone had asked me when I was your age. When was the last time you really talked to your parents? Not that quick. How's it going? a chat, but a real conversation where you ask about their lives, about the dreams they had, about the regrets they carry. When was the last time you hugged someone you love and actually felt that hug? Instead of thinking about the next item on your to-do list, when was the last time you did something just because you wanted to, without worrying if it was productive, if it added value, if it got you closer to your goals? If you died tomorrow, would you be satisfied with the life you've lived so far, with the choices you've made, with the priorities you've set? Or would you look back and see a mountain of missed opportunities, of moments you let slip away, of people you neglected? Because that's the true measure of a life well lived. It's not what you accumulated. It's what you experienced. It's how you made people feel. It's whether you truly lived or just existed. Today, at 80 years old, I finally woke up. I finally understood. And you know the irony? Now that I've understood, now that I finally know what matters, my body can't handle half the things I want to do anymore. My legs don't carry me far. My energy fades fast. My friends are almost all gone. My kids have their own lives. The time I wasted isn't coming back. The opportunities I missed won't repeat themselves. I have the awareness now, but I don't have the life left to apply that awareness. But you do. You still have time. You still have energy. You still have the people you love around you. You can still make different choices. You can still wake up from this illusion that work is the most important thing, that you need more money, that there's a later where everything will magically sort itself out. There isn't. The only moment you have is now. The only certainty you have is that one day it will all end. And the only question that truly matters is, when that day comes, will you look back and feel at peace with the life you lived? If I could talk to my 30-year-old self, you know what I'd say? I'd say, stop chasing approval. Stop trying to impress people who don't care about you. Stop accumulating things you don't need. Stop postponing important conversations. Stop saying no to adventures. Stop using work as an excuse not to be present. Stop living like you have all the time in the world. And start hugging more. Start saying, I love you more often. Start traveling, even without the perfect nest egg. Start doing what makes you happy, even if it's not profitable. Start being truly present when you're with someone. Start creating memories instead of collecting possessions. Start truly living while you still can. Life goes by fast. It feels like yesterday I was 20, full of energy, full of plans, full of certainty. Now I'm here, 80 years old, no energy, no plans, and with the only certainty that truly matters, that I wasted too much time on things that didn't matter. Don't make the same mistake I did. Don't wait until you're 80 to wake up. Don't wait for a heart attack. Don't wait to lose someone. Don't wait until it's too late. Your parents are getting older. They won't be here forever. Call them today. Schedule a lunch. Ask about their youth. Record those stories. Hug them while you still can. Your kids are growing up. Each phase passes and doesn't come back. Put down your phone when you're with them. Play on the floor. Go to the park. Create memories they'll carry forever. Your friendships need attention. Don't just wait for the big events. Send a text. Schedule a coffee. Show up in people's lives. Your body is working now. Use it. Travel, dance, walk in beautiful places. Feel the sun on your skin. Dive into the ocean. Don't wait for more money, more time, more preparation. Do it any way you can with what you have now, because this now is all you truly have. And look, I'm not saying you should drop everything and live like there's no tomorrow. It's not about irresponsibility. It's about balance. It's about understanding that work is important, money is important, security is important, but none of it matters if you reach the end of your life empty of experiences, empty of connections, empty of happy memories. It's about making conscious choices. It's about asking yourself every day, what am I prioritizing? What am I sacrificing? Is it worth it? Because in the end, right at the very end, when you're lying in a hospital bed like I was, or maybe in a bed at home with family around, in your final moments, you won't be thinking about how many overtime hours you put in. You won't be thinking about the car you bought. You won't be thinking about the promotion you got. You'll be thinking about the people you loved, the laughter you shared, the adventures you had, the conversations you had, the hugs you received. You'll be thinking about love, about connection, about presence, about a life truly lived, and you'll ask yourself, did I make the most of it? Did I truly live? Or did I just exist? I wasted a lot of time, a whole lot, and I carry regrets that will go with me to the grave. But you don't have to make the same mistake. You can still choose differently. You can still wake up. You can still change direction. You can still prioritize what truly matters. The clock is ticking for you too, no slower than it was ticking for me. And one day, you'll be 80 or 60 or 50, or maybe you won't even get there, and you'll look back. The question is, what will you see? If you've made it this far, it's because something in this story has touched you deeply. Maybe you see your own life reflected in my words. Maybe you're starting to realize you need to change something urgently. You're not alone in this. This channel exists for exactly people like you. People who want to wake up before it's too late. People who want to learn from the mistakes of those who have lived long enough to understand what truly matters. Subscribe here to get more real stories, more lessons that I and others have learned over decades of life, truths that can save you years of regret. Hit that like button if this video made you think, even if it stung a little. That sting is important. It's what wakes you up. And please, tell me in the comments what your biggest regret is so far, or even better, what you're going to do differently starting today. I'd love to read your story and know that somehow my words helped someone avoid the same mistakes I made. The clock is ticking for all of us. Don't waste another single day. What are you going to do with the time you have left?